Hi, this is Fergus Reid with Free Break News. Today we're going to be interviewing Charlie Malone, who's a lecturer at Abertay and he's running for Councillor of Lochee Ward. So Charlie, would you tell me a bit about yourself to start?
Yeah, I was born in Dundee Road, which is kind of part of the ward in 1960, into a very traditional working class family. I lived in Charleston for about 11 years before moving to another part of Lochee, which is called Grey Street, and then on to where I stay now, which is again still in Lochee, Eastville Road. I went to school in Charleston. I was at St Clement's Primary School, then went to Lochee, and after studying at Lochee went and joined Timex as an apprentice engineer, before before the factory closure, and then up to university, and this is where I am now. As a lecturer at Abertay University.
How do you think cuts have affected Dundee as a whole?
When I was born, as I said, I was born in 1960 and there's 7 of us lived in a 2-bedroom house. My mother and father were mill workers and there was 5 children, so 2 bedrooms. My mother and father never slept in a bed, they slept on the sofa. And we understood poverty in those days. We understood what it was like to go to school in kind of second-hand clothes and clothes in your shoes. And at that time we experienced a kind of poverty that was pretty universal. The other people in the same area you suffered kind of the same. You weren't unusual. And it's only when I look back on those days and I compare it to what I'm seeing now in Lochee, and it's one of the reasons I decided to stand as a candidate. I was knocking on doors just recently and a young woman was saying to me that they have 7 people sleeping in a 2-bedroom house. And so 50 years on, we still have the same kind of issues in poverty and housing and stuff like that. And it can't be that the economy has grown over that 50 years, yet the experience of people in working class areas is still the same. Inadequate housing, poverty, lack of educational attainment, and a system that seems to have passed people by and has never addressed the fundamental kind of causes of poverty in particular. So the cuts are adding to that. We cannot have a situation where you've had £35 million worth of cuts in 2 years to the kind of budget of the local authorities without it having an impact on attempts to try and do something about poverty, attempts to address the lack of educational attainment. You don't improve educational attainment by taking away classroom assistants, for example, and that's what we're seeing now happening. So the cuts are there every day. We see it in health, education, jobs, in the aesthetic and the social environment that people live in. We're seeing the cuts, but we're living the cuts. We're not just seeing the cuts, we're living the cuts. And that's what I see every day when I walk around Lochee. I witness the cuts to my community and the effect it's having on my community. And again, that's one of the reasons why I think I have to stand. It's not necessarily I want to stand, but I believe I have to stand because Lochee needs a voice, and I think it's not been heard for too long now.
So what are your strategies for dealing with the effect that cuts have had? Obviously it's not going to be as simple as just pumping more money in because there's
no money there.
Yeah.
What to do is go back to the communities and start giving communities the tools to empower themselves. And we did that recently in the Lochee Health campaign, where the practice in Lochee was under threat of closure, and we were part of a community-led kind of campaign to challenge that and fight that. We've kept that. We've managed as a consequence, not just the Labour Party. I'm talking about the community campaign. We've managed to address that, and now there's more GPs in that practice. But that's only starting point. That's again managing communities. What we need to be doing is saying to the people of Lochee, what is your experience of health provision? What do you really need? So what we need is you mentioned the word strategy. I think you're absolutely correct. We need this integrated strategy that looks at communities as a whole, but engages the communities in the whole, and gives the communities the tools for their own empowerment, their own liberation. Nobody manages people out of poverty. People come together and they shape their futures, and that's what we've got to be. It's got to be an inclusive campaign with people of Lochee.
Do you think there's any danger of Labour strongholds, especially in Dundee, becoming a bit more isolated due to Corbyn's leadership? There's been a bit of talk about how he's possibly alienating Labour strongholds.
We are not finding that on the doorsteps, I have to say. There has been some comment about Corbyn's leadership, but actually what people are telling us on the doorsteps is it's about dogfouling. It's about the fact that their kids can't get into a college course now because the college course the place is being cut. It's about the fact that there's nothing for parents to do. It's about vandalism, it's about antisocial behaviour. Nobody is really wanting to have a kind of philosophical discussion about whether Jeremy Corbyn's isolating the Labour Party from its stronghold. These things have an impact. Leadership of any political party has an impact. But what that does again is it takes us back to the politics of the macro. And what I'm interested in is the politics of the micro. I'm more involved in the politics of my street than the politics of the machinations of the Labour Party. I'm a member of the Labour Party. I've supported the Labour Party all my life. We've been through tough times, we've been through good times. This is a tough time, we're not going to pretend otherwise. But that's not what I'm about. My father, who was worked in the mills, and he believed passionately education was the only way out of poverty, and he kind of retrained, him and my mother retrained to become psychiatric nurses. And he talked about a soft socialism, a socialism rooted in community. And I think that's what I share, this idea that we work through our communities and we focus on people's everyday lives. Jeremy Corbyn, Theresa May, Nigel Farage or anybody else won't be living in these streets, won't have an idea, and we've got to reconnect with ordinary people. And the Labour Party's fortunes are built around community engagement. We've got to get back to that, we've got to rediscover how important that is, and we're doing that, I think.
Do you think, well, first of all, do you think the SNP have done enough to help in Lochee, and do you think Labour have done well?
I think you've got to kind of have a balance, and it's very unusual in politics for somebody to have a balance. This isn't about me discussing the SNP. Now, the SNP have to stand in front of the Lochee electorate and say this is what we've done with a monopoly of power in Dundee. This isn't about anybody else's fault. The SNP have a monopoly, they have the 2 members of Parliament, they've got both elected constituency MSPs, they have a Minister for Health, and they've ran Dundee City Council for a decade. They have got to stand in front of the people in Lochee and justify what's happening to the people in Lochee. Visibly, anybody who goes down Lochee High Street will tell you that it wasn't that long ago that was a vibrant hub of community activism and community involvement, engagement. It's where people went to shop, it's where people went to socialise, it was where people went for entertainment. It's dead. It's dead. And I'm not attributing that all to the SNP. They answer that for themselves. That's what I'm about. I'm about creating a future, re-engaging with that sense of civic pride that Lochee always had, and trying to make politicians stand up and realise you cannot leave populations behind. Lochee has been left behind. This is what's wrong with, fundamentally what's wrong with politics today. People think about power and power blocks, and it's power for the sake of power, not power for the sake of eradicating poverty. In Dundee, in Lochee, we've got 50% of the population living in areas of multiple deprivation. We've got 25% of the population living in poverty. We've got some of the worst educational attainment figures in Britain. It's a scandal. And to say, reduce politics to this discussion about power, or about blocks, or about support, or about rhetoric, for me it does a disservice to the people. If I knock on a door tomorrow, and I will be knocking on doors tomorrow, or if I phone somebody up, I'm not talking to them about power blocks. I'm not talking about and I'm not trying to mobilise our popularity. I'm trying to connect with people to find out what's wrong so that we can make a difference to lives. Because ultimately, politics is a privileged position. The outcome of our activities and endeavours affects people's lives. And we start thinking about politics at the grand level and about, oh, guess what, we've got a stronghold. I'm sorry. You're missing the point, you're being complacent. And we were that once. The Labour Party was that once. We were once complacent and we took our kind of electorate for granted. That's what's going to happen now.
Do you think it would be beneficial then to have an overall change in the way that people view politics, get back to the grassroots that you're...
I absolutely fundamentally agree with that. I think that for too long politics has been a game, and I think what we're seeing is an electorate that's turning off from the conventional kind of pantomime of politics, and they're looking and saying, well, I hear these things from politicians every day, but my life doesn't reflect that. Our socialism has to be measured by outcomes. Our socialism has to be measured by the things I've been talking about. How do we reduce poverty? How do we reduce... Grand politics doesn't shape that. It's what we do in the streets and what we do at local level that counts. And again, as I said, it's a privilege to be part of people's lives. when I speak to people in the streets, when I phone them up, it breaks your heart some of the stories you're hearing. In the 21st century, a mother and father are sleeping in a hallway in their house because they've got 5 kids in 2 bedrooms. And that's just not right.